I have a question for you. And that question is, why don't you own more real estate? And I hear the same four reasons over and over and over again. And they are, Peter, I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. Or I'm afraid I'll lose money. Or how about this, Peter, I suffer from analysis paralysis. All right, so in this video, I'm going to share with you how to get over the hump for all four of these. Now, when you say you don't have enough money, what you're really saying is, Peter, I need a fortune to get started. And that just isn't true. And I'm going to share with you why, exactly why that's not true. Number two, when you say I don't have enough time, what you're really saying is I'm too busy with work and life. Yes, we understand that, right? All of us are busy, but it comes down to what you prioritize and the strategies that you use to make yourself more efficient. Okay, and number three, when you say I'm afraid I'll lose money, what you're really saying is, what if I make a bad investment? Hey, you know what? The fear is real, but so is the upside if you do it right. And number four, when you suffer from analysis paralysis, and I can relate to this as a former engineer, what you're saying is, Peter, I need to know everything before I make a move. And the problem with that is you never make a move, right? So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to get over the hump for all four of these. All right, so before I get started, do me a favor. Which one are you? Are you number one? Are you number two? Are you number three? Or do you suffer from number four? So please let me know in the comment box which one you suffer from most. All right, so I'm going to, in this video, go through all four in detail, let you know what the causes are, and then I'm going to give you the solutions to get over the hump so that you can own more real estate. Let's get started. All right, here we are with reason number one why you don't own more real estate. And that first reason is, Peter, I don't have enough money. That is totally incorrect. What I want you to do is rephrase that thought, that statement into, Peter, how do I afford one more deal or other deals or my first property? I'm going to share with you how you can afford it by using my 5 levels of the money triangle, where I will do this in gradual levels of understanding and strategies for you, okay? Listen to this. All right, so the first level, let's say you don't have any money. What you can do is you can wholesale your commercial property, okay? Or any real estate. You can wholesale it. Basically, you get it under contract, and then you find a buyer, and then you assign the contract to that buyer for money. Now, mind you, it has to be a good deal, right? What's a good deal? A good deal is price under market, ability to raise the rents in a good neighborhood. You have those three things, you can most likely wholesale this deal for money. Okay, people are looking for deals like that. All right, so I have this video called Commercial Real Estate Wholesaling. The link will appear. You can watch that. Okay, that's the first level. The second level is called a seller carry second mortgage. Okay, it's the second level right here. Basically, what this is if you have some money, but you don't have the entire down payment, what you can do is you can get the seller to help you with the down payment by carrying a second mortgage. Okay, so these three strategies, 1, 2, 3. I have a separate video for those three that will appear on the screen. You can watch this. It's called the seller carry second mortgage. This is where you have some of the money, but you don't have all the money. The seller can assist you with the down payment. Okay, this is using a bank. All right, the next level is the seller carry first mortgage. This is great. This is where the seller becomes the bank. Let's say that the seller owns nothing on the property and he's willing to do seller financing, or you convinced him, or you found some motivation where the seller would do seller financing. So in this case, the seller can be the bank for you, and you can create your own terms, okay? 10% down, 15, 20% down, 6% interest rate for 30-year AM or 5 years, whatever you want to do, okay? This is a seller carry first, all right? So this is where the seller becomes the bank. The next level is one of our favorites. This is called the master lease agreement. Basically, no banks here are required, okay? Look at this gentleman right here on the screen here. He just made $2 million on a 3-year master lease deal. All right. So these type of things are possible. It's one of my favorite techniques here at our company. Basically, there's no banks involved. There's no credit checks. There's a small down payment. There's no appraisal. So you can create whatever deal that works with the seller. And you will always hear me say this when you have a motivated seller and a motivated buyer, beautiful things can happen here. This is a must learn technique if you're not working with a lot of money, okay? So you have to be creative here. All right, okay. And then the second, the fifth level is called syndication, okay? Real estate syndication. This is where you use private money. This is where you use investor money for the down payment, for the renovation to get your deal done. All right, so I have a specific video that's broken down very simply how to set yourself up to be a successful syndicator, okay? Real estate syndication. So basically, you're pooling money together from individuals, okay? Because you don't have all the money, and then you're able to afford the property, specifically the down payment. Got it? All right. So again, this is the 5 levels of the money triangle. If you believe you don't have all the money to buy real estate, I just proved to you that you don't need to have all the money. You just need to have a little bit of money. All right. And a lot of creativity and knowledge here. Got it? All right. So that's number 1. Let's go on to number 2. Have something to share? We'd like to hear about it. Please comment below and we'll respond, including me personally. Here's number 2. Uh, I don't have enough time. Okay, here's a real quick story. When I first started out in real estate, I didn't have a lot of time. Okay, I was a single parent. My son was really young. I had a full-time job as an engineer, and I was helping taking care of my mom. So I didn't have a lot of time. But I had this big picture. My job lay me off, just like did my boss, and I didn't want to be in his position, right? So it came down to how bad did I want to secure financial freedom for myself and my son. That's what it came down to. Okay, so if I'm going to ask a question, if real estate investing, okay, could help you build wealth, quit your job, secure financial freedom, is it worth finding the time? Okay, because people make time for what they prioritize. So what are you prioritizing these days? Instagram, Netflix, ESPN, or something else that's taking a lot of your time. Because if you don't control your time, someone else or something else will control your time. So here's a solution. Okay, here's a solution. Very simple. This is what I did. Okay, just take a fraction of your wasted time. Okay, and put it into real estate education. Start here. And that's what I did. So after work, taking care of my mom, helping my son with his homework, I went downstairs and I started reading books, just absorbing as much as I can. Okay, so for you, I have links here for a free book and a free online course on real estate investing that you can just download and just start right there. Okay, so you do have enough time. It's just where you are putting your priorities. All you need is a fraction of your time to get to the next deal or to get to your first property. Got it? All right, let's go to number 3. Click subscribe and add alerts so you can get more easy to understand commercial and multifamily wisdom. Here's number 3. I'm afraid I'll lose money. Yes, that fear is real. It sure is real. Here's how I want you to process this. Let me share a real quick story. After my mentor, my boss, was laid off from his job, and they wanted me to take his position. I had lunch with them, and then I was sharing with him. I found an investment property I wanted to buy, and I said I was afraid to buy it. Right, single parent, not making a lot of money. And then he closed his door and he said, Pete, you need to buy this property or you may end up like me. Right? So the question is, what's riskier? Okay. What's riskier? Investing in real estate with a proven strategy and mentor, or doing nothing and relying on your job and savings? Okay. What's riskier? Okay. Yes, real estate does have risk, but guess what? The risk can be managed. Okay, and then get a load of this. This is what we teach our students. Successful real estate investors don't don't avoid risks. Okay, we just learn how to manage the risk. Here's how you manage it. I'll give you some solutions here. All right, very simple. When you want to manage risk, I want you to be conservative. Here's how you be conservative, okay? And get over the hump of being afraid. I want you to buy only cash flowing properties and don't speculate, okay? Don't wish that the income go up, that the value will go up. Those days are over, especially for a person afraid of losing their money. Don't speculate, and you need to really know your numbers, okay? How to calculate the cash flow, the cash and cash, the cap rate. All of that needs to be completely understood before you can move forward. And guess what? Our students that sign up with us, they go through 4 weeks of foundational training with us, okay, before they're allowed to make an offer. 4 weeks. So should you, okay? All right. And secondly, to help you manage your risk is to start small. Starting small is absolutely okay because it helps you grow smartly because you're learning from a small property and you're growing smartly because if you make a mistake on a small property, you can fix it. If you make a mistake on a large property, it's going to be very costly. So start small and grow gradually. That's my recommendation. Okay, and next, this is just smart, this is just common sense, is when you buy your property, have cash reserves. So after you put up your down payment, have money put aside for what we call rainy days, okay? Because rainy days is when, window breaks or, roof damage or a flood or something where you don't want to use your insurance to pay for it. Something happens, right? Because on the rainy days, this is where your risk becomes a reality. This happens to all of us, okay? So there's no such thing as a zero risk deal, all right? So some things will happen on your property and you need to have cash reserves in order to remedy the upcoming problems. So after our students close their deal, the first thing we have them do is to have an account to build up those reserves first before they do anything. Build up the reserves and put them aside for the rainy days that are inevitable. Okay, and lastly, hire a mentor. Okay, that can be us. Okay, and move with certainty. Okay, because when you can move with certainty, actually, what steps to take, step by step by step, it helps you deal with the fear. Got it? All right. Okay, let's go on to number 4. Last but not least, number 4. And number 4 is suffering from analysis paralysis. And that used to be me, folks. And prior to real estate, I worked as an engineer for a long time. And as you know, us engineers, we need everything to stack up before we make a move. Okay? So engineers and most likely finance professionals and others suffer from analysis process. We don't move until we have everything. And guess what? Our deathbed regret will be, we should have done this. We should have done that. But back when we were younger, the numbers didn't line up, so we didn't do it. And we live a life of regret. So enough of that. Okay. So I'm going to share this with you. This is called the 40-70 rule by former General Colin Powell. Okay. He was the former Joint Chiefs of Staff for the U.S. He was also Secretary of State, and he was a pretty cool guy. And he was a guy that made decisions, okay? Very, very important decisions that are for the country and for his fellow soldiers with their lives at risk. So he had to make decisions. Here's how he did it. So he himself could overcome analysis paralysis because of the weight and the burden on responsibilities on his shoulders, okay? Called the 40-70 rule. He made this up. He says, when it's time to make a decision, you shouldn't make decisions, okay, with less than 40% of the available information, okay? Now, and so analysis process folks out there are thinking, see, Peter, I told you, if you have less than 40%, you shouldn't do anything. But he says, conversely, if you wait until you have more than 70% of the available information, by that time, the opportunity would have passed. You don't want that to happen. Okay, so basically he says when you have more than 40%, you need to pull the trigger making a decision. Okay. Now, here's the truth. You will never get to 100%. Okay. Even Warren Buffett doesn't get to 100%, and he's one of the world's greatest investors, right, of all time. He doesn't get 100%. So you don't need 100%. Let me give you a practical solution for you people that suffer from analysis paralysis. Okay. And I can relate to this. This is what I did for myself and for our students. Okay. We have to be very practical and methodical with people that suffer from analysis paralysis, because it's not because they don't lack intelligence. They just lack certainty. Okay, they need certainty. Here's how you get certainty. Okay, so practical solution, right, would be what I call our minimum viable investment. Okay, so what do you need minimally to make your investment viable? There's three things that you should have. If you have these three things, it's time to pull the trigger. I'm going to help you. Okay. All right. Number one, first question. Okay. What's the simplest, lowest risk deal you have right now? Okay. What's the simplest, lowest risk deal you have? Is it a fourplex? Is it a fiveplex? Is it something small? Is it something you feel good about, but you're still scared to pull the trigger? Okay, so if you have that deal there, okay, and you haven't pulled the trigger, hold on to this. Okay, number two, before you pull the trigger, ask this question. What's the one metric for you that matters most? Okay, is it cash flow? Is it value growth on the deal? Whatever it is. Our students, when they suffer from analysis paralysis, we take them through number one, and then we ask them, what's the most important metric for you? And they said, Peter, I need cash flow. Great. So you have this deal right here that cash flows. So number one, number two are met. But before we do that, let's go to number three. Number three is what's your minimum criteria for what you call a good deal? Okay. The minimum criteria that we tell our students are, it must cash flow after all the expenses and the mortgage is paid. Okay, number one. Okay, number two, we want the rent to be able to go up. Okay, because when the rents go up, so does the property value. So having cash flow and having rent upside protects our downside. Okay, and lastly, this makes all the sense in the world. You want the property to be located in a good area. Okay, so that's the minimum criteria that you want: cash flow. You want rent upside, and you want to be in a good area. That's just smart right there. Okay, so if you have, like I said, if you have all three on your deal, okay, you have more than 40% to make it a go. Analysis process is a real thing, and it stops you dead in your track. It stops wonderful futures from being created. Hopefully, I helped you understand that the four reasons: I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, right? I'm afraid I'll lose money. And number four, I suffer from analysis paralysis. Now, I hope you understand that these can be overcome so that you can either buy more property or get into your first deal. All right, okay. Thank you everyone so much. If you hung out this long with me, you are absolutely my favorite, so I appreciate you. So do me a favor, go ahead and like the video, and don't forget to put in comments here which one you suffer from the most, because we want to help you. Is it 1, 2, or 3, or 4? Thanks everyone, and I'll see you at the next video.
What I love the most about working with you is the one-on-one time that we were able to spend with you. You've really proved to be more than a mentor. You act as a partner with us. There's our multiple weekly calls that we have access to with you, the one-on-one calls where we get to have you auto ourselves, and the patience that you have in responding to every single question, every email that we send you. And we have access to you literally within just a few minutes. We can get a response. So all of that has just been a 5-star experience, really.